Yes, hello to you. So today we are going to be looking at how to use EXE Learning, an authoring tool that helps us to create content in a format called SCOM that we can upload to the learning management system such that our learners or users can access this content using different devices wherever they are. So before we look at using the actual application, the first thing you need to have is a structure of the content you want to develop. So what we see here is a sample short course on construction that we are going to use today. So a course usually has what we call modules or topics, then sub-modules and subtopics. So today we are going to use the term topics, where we can see under construction we have a topic called tools and equipment, we have another topic called building materials, we have another topic called set out and construct regular substructures, and then the fourth topic here, construct superstructure of a simple building. And then these topics also have subtopics within, where we shall be adding the content. So we need to have this kind of structure before we start using the application. This structure is basically to help you as you're transferring your content from whichever format you have it, that is, it can be in Word, it can be in a PowerPoint, and as you're transferring it from that format to this SCOM format that is understood by the learning management system, it helps you, it makes it easier for you. But also we shall see that it makes it easier for a student when accessing the content. They can easily access specific subtopics when they are opening this content on the learning management system. So let us go straight away to the application. So for this video, where I'm assuming that you have already installed the EXE Learning. If you haven't, there is another video that you can look at of how to install EXE Learning on your computer. So if you have already installed it, you simply type in the search bar, or for those that don't have this kind of search bar, there's always this icon of search. So you click on that icon and it should bring for a search bar where you can type EXE, and you have that option of the app if it is installed. When we open the app, of course, it automatically opens into a browser, probably the default browser that you have, and brings you this window. So all you have to do is to say save here, and then you've now arrived to the application. So looking at the application, first and foremost, there are certain things we need to set before we also start adding content to it. One is the styles. Yes, so there are different styles. When you look at styles, under styles we have the base. Styles is basically how the design of the content, how it's going to be looking on the LMS or learning management system. Then we also have a presentation style. Today we shall use the UDL style. Yes, so then the other thing, just like any other file that you save, it's important for you to save this file. So the first thing, we can look at what you're going to create using this file, for example. So if we look at our course structure, and another key point is to note is it's important to break down your content into small chunks or small sizes that can be easily consumed by a learner. Why? This is because the learners we have today are used to watching short videos on TikTok, short videos on YouTube, so it becomes easier for them to access your content and enjoy your content if you also make it short, relatable to what they're usually consuming out there. So that is the whole idea of making it short. So for example, here you would create an exe file for each topic. Okay, instead of creating an exe file for everything, You create an exe file for each topic so that the learner can consume one topic at a time and focus on each therein. So we shall look at creating a file for tools and equipment. So how we do that, we go back to our app which we opened in Google Chrome, Google Chrome, which is a browser. So when you're here, you right click on home and rename it to that topic name that you are going to work on. So that is tools and equipment. Okay, so we have that there. Then now under tools and equipment, we have seen we have different subtopics. So that's what we're going to do. How do we add those subtopics? We right click on tools and equipment and we add page, and we add our first subtopic, which is types of tools. So we rename the topic to be types of tools, and we do that for all the other subtopics. Basic tools of the bricklayer, add page, then we rename the page we have added. And we also do the same for this care of tools. Come to tools and equipment, right click, add page, rename the page name to the subtopic, and then our last subtopic, tools and equipment, add page, rename. Okay, and you are done. So this is the first point that we come to, making sure we have that structure that we are seeing on our document this side. So after doing this, then you can now go ahead and save this first. So before you continue, you come to file, then you go to save. So it brings you a screen like this. So it's important to have to save your file somewhere where you can easily access them. And what they put for us here is two folders that can easily be accessed on your computer, which is desktop and my documents. So you can choose which one is easier for you. We have desktop, so I'm going to choose desktop. So when you come to, after clicking desktop, it's good to create a new folder by clicking create directory. Then you type in exe files. So this is where you'll be saving all your exe files that you create. So once that is open, you can now type in the name of the file. So we shall give it the name of the topic that we are working on, which is tools and equipment. Then we save and press OK. So that is how we start with writing this content. So the next part is you come back to tools and equipment, and then we can see on this other side we have what we call the add a text device. So this is where you add the content. So you click on this and it should bring for you such a view. You have the title, text. So here, this is in this text area, that's where you add the content. So if it's a topic, we come to tools and equipment and add text in order to add an introduction. So here, this is where you add an introduction to the topic. So you can say, just put some samples. Tools are the support system of a bricklayer. Okay, so you can put your introduction here, or if you have it somewhere in your document, you can copy it from there and then you come and paste it here. Okay, so just to show you a sample how, if we had to copy this, for example, we can paste it inside there, and it should be able to come in, as you can see. Okay, so that is then you, after adding that content, you click on the tick and you have your content there developed. Yes. So after adding that introduction, we now go next to let's actually remove this. This is not the introduction. Tools. Good. So after that, you come now to each subtopic and you also start adding content by clicking on that, and then you add types of tools. You say trowel, say spade, and hammer. Then you also tick. Then you also come to basic tools of a bricklayer. You add text, and then you also do the same and you add the different basic tools, hammer, and so on and so forth. So the other thing that you can add apart from text, of course the text, you can also edit it accordingly using aligning left, center, or right. You can also bold and add italics. The other thing that you can do is add an image. So for images, the same thing. You come to can look at the topic. You come to the subtopic where you want to add your image. Again, you add text, and then maybe you add some content on the image. Then you move your cursor to where you want your image to be, and then there is this icon here, insert image, near FX. Brings for you this window. So near the word source, there is a bar and also this icon. So you look for where your image is. Again, it's important to have your images saved somewhere that you can easily access them. So probably if you're going to use the image, it's better to save them probably in the desktop or my documents before you start. I have that folder ready. So for now, we can look at, maybe pick this image. So after selecting the image from wherever you've saved it, then you click open and you say okay and okay, and the image is here. So you can as well reduce this image if it's very big by using these corners. Then you can center it, and it's recommended for you to center so that it aligns properly once the content is being viewed. Then after adding your image, you tick, and here we have the image. Okay, so that is how to add an image. So you can as well add a video. So for example, for basic tools, you might find we have different tools, and you want to add some information on each tool. So we have the hammer there, so we can add another text area, and then we type maybe trowel, and you say maybe in this case for the trowel we want to add a video. Let's just use a sample video that you already have. We can say, okay, let's use this. So you also say okay, and your video comes in there. So you can also reduce the size of the video, and recommend it to center it, then you tick. So this is how the video looks.
Let's look at how we can calculate,
and we can see that you can play that with options of expanding it to full screen as well.
Kids, and one of them has 10.
Okay, so that is it for adding the image and video. However, the other thing you can do, if the video is very long, if it's like a video on YouTube or saved in your Google Drive. You can, instead of adding the video itself, you can add a link. So how do we add a link? You can put probably a statement like watch the following video, and you put maybe the name of the video here, maybe introduction. So you highlight this name and you come to insert link, and then you can get the link where the YouTube video link, and you paste it inside here. Let's say this is the link, and then you say okay, and now this will become, whenever someone clicks on it, they should be able to access that video. So that's how we can add other media into EX e-learning. So that is basically how to create a brief on how to create content with EX. Consider adding text, adding images, adding videos. Then after you have developed content in that format, you now save. Of course, you make sure you save first. You can now get a chance of previewing. This is the preview button in this corner, to see how it will look to the students, and this is how it looks. So this is the importance of having the structure. It helps, it makes it easier for a student to navigate or go through your content without being bombarded with all the content at once. So they can choose one topic at a time and view that. Of course, some of these topics are empty because we did not add any content to them. So after you've previewed and you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and export into the format that we said is called SCORM, that is understood by the learning management system. However, if you don't feel comfortable with what you have, you can edit. Okay, how do we edit? When you put your cursor on top of the content you've created, even though it's text, they bring you these icons. So you click on the pencil to change whatever you want to change. If you want to add or remove, then you come back and tick. Okay. Maybe if you don't want some things anymore in your content, you can just delete by clicking on the X, and it asks you whether you want to delete, and you delete. So when you're comfortable with what you have, we can now come to the file. We save again because you've made changes. Then we go back to file and we come to export. Then we click on export and then we choose SCORM. Okay. And then in SCORM you type in the name of the topic, tools and equipment. And then you can add a small description, or you can even just put something here. And here you put your initials. Say Andrew. Then you save and export. So when you say save and export, it brings you to this point. So once again, it's important to have a folder where you're going to keep all the SCORM versions. This is the word SCORM of the topics you've created. So once again, I recommend a desktop. So you can come to the desktop, create a directory called SCORM files. Once that is created, then you can name your file again. You use the topic name, tools and equipment, and you save, and your SCORM file should be created. So when you come to the folder to check, where on desktop where we saved our SCORM file, it's there in form of a zipped file. and we also confirm that we still have our exe file here. So what's the difference between the exe file and the scom file? The scom file can only be understood by the LMS. What that means is that you cannot edit this file. What you edit is the exe file. So once you're done with the project, once you're done creating your content, you can close. So the next time you want to come back and maybe change, in case you want to add something new to the same topic that you had created already, all you have to do again is search for exe learning, get the application, it opens like that. You can just tick this in order for this not to come back. Then you save. So it brings us back to where we were before. So we go to file and we open this time because we already have our exe file somewhere. We go to the desktop where it is, go to exe files, and it's showing here tools and equipment. And we open it, and it brings us back to what we were creating. Yes, so that is it for today on how to use exe files to create content. Thank you.